Hi, everybody. I am now 7 weeks post bariatric surgery, 3 weeks into a strictly protein diet, which is tough but manageable. I have noticed, and I don't know if this is normal for everybody, but I have noticed that my palate has changed quite a bit. And so has my sense of smell. Things I used to love, spam, for instance, I can't even stomach anymore. The smell alone puts me off. So that limits a lot of what I can eat, because if I'm nauseated by something that I'm smelling or tasting, I won't eat. And unfortunately, it makes it a little bit harder for me to take in that protein that I need. Fortunately, the one thing that I've always loved and will continue to love and hasn't been that horribly affected has been chicken. My lovely daughter was wonderful enough to pick me up when they did a carry out, was wonderful enough to pick me up a rotisserie chicken. Since I can't eat huge amounts of the chicken anymore, I could clear almost the entire thing in one sitting. That's how bad I was. Now I'm lucky if I eat a half a drumstick in one sitting. That's the huge difference, because my stomach is so much smaller, and it's still quite swollen from the surgery. The portions are a quarter, an eighth of what I used to eat. Yes, I could take or leave food, but most of the time it was take. Yeah, I was bad. I was really, really bad for a really long time. Um, I'm so much better now. Okay. Taking in fluids is vitally important, because your diet is restricted to just proteins, and no fiber for the first 2 months after your 2 week recovery period. Um, you're not getting you're not getting things that will move the food through your system like it should. You're not going to be regular. Guaranteed, you're not going to be regular. I spent 6 hours in the emergency room on Sunday, this past Sunday, because I had so much backup that I couldn't let go. It was a wall of clay, like fecal matter. I'm trying to be delicate here, because this is not a pleasant topic to talk about, but it needs to be said. I was very lackadaisical with my hydration, and I wasn't walking like I should have been. I'm not lazy by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't see a purpose in walking unless there's a reason for it. And up to Sunday, I didn't think there was actually a valid reason for walking, except, exercise. I would be on my feet at work for hours, just running all over the place, because that was part of my job. I rarely took a break. I worked through breaks, because no social skills, so no socializing. But without a purpose, I don't feel the need to do something. Sunday showed me the purpose of walking. I knew this from biology class. I knew this from some nursing classes I took before I realized I just didn't like people well enough to want to take care of them. So walking helps things move around down there. It helps with gravity and the exercise and the flexing of the muscles. It helps to work your bowels in such a way that you'll be able to evacuate them. When I wasn't walking, it was sedentary. There was nothing helping to work that stuff down there, so it was just backing up and backing up and backing up. Walk. We have a really huge yard. I didn't want to walk around the neighborhood because no. So my daughter suggested, walk around the backyard. That'll do it. So I've been doing 5 circuits in the morning after I take my son-in-law to work, and then 5 circuits in the evening when I bring him home. It's worked wonders. Between that and making sure I get at least 64 ounces of fluids in my day, and I keep track. I do keep track. I'm doing much better. Let's hope it continues. And I can't wait for vegetables. Anywho, if you're having a hard time trying to get up to the amount of protein you're supposed to take in, protein shakes are a wonderful way. There are a lot of them out there on the market. Slim Fast, Atkins, all kinds. But a lot of them are very limited in their flavors. When I first started the operative diet, I was on Slim Fast, and the only one flavor that really appealed to me was the chocolate. You're not allowed caffeine because caffeine tends to draw the hydration away. So you end up peeing out all that water that you're drinking, which defeats the purpose of hydrating. And no carbonation. The bubbles will build up in the stomach and create all kinds of cramps and fullness, so you won't be able to eat. Slim Fast was the choice for me at the time. I didn't realize there were other really good options out there, and they're about 15 grams of carbs per shake. When I realized that I no longer had an appetite for my normal food, where I no longer had an appetite for much of anything because everything just put me off, I knew that I'd have to supplement it with protein shakes again. So I discovered, and I'm not shilling for anybody, this is just my recommendation because it's a good shake and because it has a huge variety of flavors. Premier Protein. And it's got 30 grams. 30 grams of protein. That's half of what you need for the day. Half, right there. And it's also 11 ounces of fluid intake as well. Half of your protein right there. And they have so many flavors. That one was chocolate peanut butter. They've got chocolate mint. They've got caramel. Oh my God, the caramel is to die for. To die for. And cake batter, which I'm not terribly fond of, but they use sucralose, which again I'm not terribly fond of, but it works well as a sweetener, but it's got a little bit of a burn to it sometimes. There's only 1 gram of sugar in it, but that sugar is not added sugar. It's not cane sugar. It's not the carb sugar. It is just natural sugars from some of the ingredients because they use milk, and milk has its own natural sugars. Don't forget your bariatric vitamins. It's all very important. Oh, if you notice that your stools are dark green, almost black, don't panic. The bariatric vitamins have a huge amount of iron, and some bodies just are not able to absorb that much. So it goes out with the rest of the garbage, for lack of a better term. Don't panic about it. I know that there are things out there saying if you're crapping black at tarry stools, then it could be a sign of colon cancer. Relax. If you've done the bariatric surgery and you're on a specific diet with those particular vitamins, it's normal. It's normal. Relax. You don't have cancer. You're just shitting out all the extra iron. But yeah, there's a protein water as well. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to, as soon as I run out of my flavor enhancers, which in and of themselves are not that pleasant. But yeah, there's a protein water that will add extra protein to your diet. Greek yogurt's great. Greek yogurt is wonderful, and they have all kinds of really good flavors. Avoid, for the first 2 months, well, actually, until you're allowed to have fruit, avoid the fruit on the bottom yogurts. I love the Dannon's Greek yogurt. It's smooth and mellow. It's not gritty. It doesn't have a really odd aftertaste. It's really, really, really good. And I'm particularly fond of the strawberry cheesecake and the coconut vanilla. It's toasted coconut vanilla. Both really, really good yogurts, but your tastes may differ. Oikos is pretty good. They also all have high protein contents. Greek yogurt generally does. I think it's because it uses goat's milk, which is higher in protein than regular milk. But yeah, walk. Drink. No beer, no alcohol. Because your stomach is so small and absorption is going to be really quick for most things. With the gastric bypass, they take out almost all of your stomach. You only have a little pouch left, and then they connect the small intestine directly to that pouch. The rest of the stomach sits off to the sides, also connected to the small intestine to add the digestive juices from your gallbladder so that things can be broken down. But it's not going to be broken down the way it usually is, where it sits in your stomach for a few hours until it's broken down and mush, then everything goes through. You're going to pass most of it, but you will absorb enough. That's what the vitamins are for, to make up for what you don't absorb through the food. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, because your stomach is so small and because it's connected directly to the small intestine, things are going to pass more quickly. So you need to make sure that you're taking in as much as you can, but not anything that's not gonna, benefit you. That is what you're looking for. You are looking for things that will keep you healthy and keep you alive, keep you satisfied. Hunger, because so much of your stomach is gone. And with the assault of the surgery and the changes to your body chemistry and your body makeup, the hormone that incites hunger will be absent for a while. It will eventually come back, but not nearly as badly as it before the surgery. Even though I may have eaten a really huge full meal, I'd find a couple hours later that I'm still hungry. So that's that hormone overreacting. So yeah, this will reduce those hunger pains and those urges to eat, because that is what we are battling against the most. I did not eat for enjoyment. I did not eat because I liked the taste of the food. I ate because it was there. I know I said in an earlier video that I didn't have an issue with food. That's not exactly true. When I was growing up, we were living as well as we could on the income my dad had. We were in some unpleasant environments, some with pests. And very frequently those pests would find their way into our food. I can't eat Trix because I was having a bowl of Trix one morning and I found a pest floating in the milk. It put me off Trix for the rest of my life. Macaroni and cheese, the same way. I have had an issue with rice, white rice, for obvious reasons. I could never eat it because of what it resembles. When we moved up to Ohio and into a house, my brother Billy would make peanut butter sandwiches. I mean, he just piled the peanut butter on thick. And for the longest time, I could not eat peanut butter sandwiches because every time I made one after him, I ended up with a hair in my sandwich. So peanut butter has a love-hate relationship with me as far as that goes. Part of the reason I have short hair is because I can't stand long hair. I don't like messing with it, and I don't like finding it in my food. This way, it doesn't get in my food. But yeah, my issues with food stemmed from a lot from my childhood. Also, because we were so poor, I ate less than everyone else to make sure everyone else could eat. My dad did the same thing. Billy and David were voracious. They were overweight. As you saw, they were overweight almost from the beginning. And because things were so tight, Dad and I sacrificed to make sure Billy and David would eat. I grew up that way, and when I became a wife and mother, I was still that way. Kenny and my baby would eat first, and then when they were done, then I would eat. And I always made sure everybody else had more than enough at the sacrifice of my own appetite, which I think is where, and I still do that. I live with my kids now, and I still do that. I take the smallest amount so everybody else can eat, and then, especially since I'm no longer working, Tim needs his energy. He needs to be able to work. And then afterwards, I'd still be hungry, so I'd go and I'd raid this or that or the other thing. And yeah, my issues with food are more life-based than emotional or psychological. So yeah. But anyway, we are all here doing this because somewhere along the way, food became a replacement for love. It became a crutch to lean on when we were feeling bad about ourselves. It became a comfort. It became something for us, some way that it filled an empty space somewhere. So You'll talk with a psychologist about this before your surgery and afterwards. They will check if it's any kind of a decent bariatric program. You'll have someone that you'll be checking in with for the next year at the very least, that they will already pre-schedule, and then after that it's up to you, but they're going to want to keep in contact with you for the rest of your life. Mine's through Cleveland Clinic, probably one of the best healthcare systems I've ever had. I've been to a lot of doctors, so I've had some experiences, and we'll just leave it at that. And they are on top of everything. They are there with me the entire way. If I have questions, I just shoot a message through my chart to one of them. They get back with me right away, and everything works out well. As long as you have a really good healthcare system that you're going through and a good support system for the surgery, you should have no problem succeeding. And this will probably be the final video, because I might update you once in a while about how it's going. I'm probably down to about 190, 10 pounds away from their goal of 180, because I started at 276. But I'm not going to stop there. No, I'm not going to stop there. My goal, my personal goal, and I understand I may not ever reach it. I don't have any unreasonable expectations. I may not ever reach it, but my personal goal for myself is to at least do 150. If I can get down to 150, I'll be happy. I'd rather 130, but can't have everything. And considering my age and how long I've been fat, I need to be realistic. So I may stop in once in a while and let you know how it's going. But I think I've given you as much information as possible to help you decide whether or not this is what you need to do. Don't go into this lightly. Don't go into this thinking, oh, I'm going to lose all this weight. I'm going to be beautiful and svelte. No, don't go into it like that. Have reasonable expectations. Your doctors should help you realize that some things just are never gonna change. Saggy skin, for instance. No matter what you do to try to tighten that, it may never tighten completely. You may get rid of most of it, but you may always have a little bit of a saggy belly. That's not muscle, because you can work the muscles out to the nth degree and it still won't tighten it. It's loose skin, because when your body has stretched its skin out that much for that long, it loses its elasticity, especially as you get older. So the saggy skin is just that, saggy skin. Eventually you can go and see a doctor and have some of that cut away. Surgery will take care of the saggy skin. You need to take care of muscles and the understructures that hold your body together. Exercise and walking and just, moving will help take care of most of that. The saggy skin, again, it is what it is. That's just stretched skin because I've been fat for so long. All right. Good luck to you. I hope I've answered some of your questions. I hope I've explained well enough what to expect, and what happens through the initial part of the surgery. The rest of it is just following your doctor's advice, following your diet, following your fluid intake recommendations, exercising, and just gradually, as you're allowed to, reintroducing the other different types of foods that you're allowed to have. Um, most of the aftercare is up to you. Most of the success for the surgery is up to you. This is not a miracle. It is a life-saving, life-changing benefit, but the doctors can't do it alone. You have to be a hugely involved part of your own success. And I wish you luck.